Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. In this video, I'm going to show you all the books that are in this massive stack off to my right, books that were found in the 100K collection, and I will tell you that there is some awesome stuff here. While the books that I'll be showing you are not for sale, I do want to highlight a site that you all may want to check out called My Slabs. I was on the site earlier today, and I will tell you that they have an amazing inventory of raw and graded comics. There were a couple of graded comics that I personally am tempted to pick up, but I'm not going to tell you which ones, and I don't want to tell you which ones because you all would go there and buy them before I can get to them, but I do seriously want to encourage you to check out My Slabs. This is a great platform for both sellers and buyers. Link is in the description. With that said, let's get to the books. So the very first book that I want to show you is one that I've shown before because I found at least one copy previously. This is X-Force issue number 116, and this is the first team appearance of the X-Statics. And today I managed to find two copies, so I have a total of 3 in the collection. Not certain if we're going to find any more, but we now at least have 3 copies on hand. Definitely an interesting cover on that one, but we go from that to this really awesome cover right here. This is Justice Society of America issue number 9, and I do believe that this is the first appearance of the Kingdom Come Superman in the main DC universe, and this is an awesome cover. I've managed to find 3 different boxes that have different portions of this run, this black cover featuring characters. I found 3 boxes with, again, multiple copies of various covers from this section. So today we managed to find 2 copies of this, and at some point I'll probably do a video in which I show the entire run from Justice Society of America. All of those wonderful black covers, they're really well done, and every time I find them I get really excited because they're just really nice covers. But while we're talking about Justice Society of America, I might as well show you all this. This is issue number 1, and this one has a ton of first appearances. I think this is the first appearance of Cyclone, who is also going to be appearing in the Black Adam movie. And I found, I want to say maybe 3 copies of this previously, and now we have an additional, what was that, 5 copies? Additional 5 copies right there. Not sure if any of these will get graded ever, but again, just a really cool book to find in the collection, and I do believe that this is an homage. I think that this is an homage to an earlier Justice Society of America or Justice Society cover. Those of you out there that are long-term DC fans probably know exactly which book I'm talking about. At least I recognize it as being an homage. I do not, however, know which book it is, but if you do, comment down below and let me know. We showed the Power Girl cover a few minutes ago. We're going to keep it going. This is Power Girl issue number 1, and this is the first issue in her second titled series. Cool book. This one's dinged down in the corner. No big deal. I actually have found at least one other copy of this one. But even better than that is the variant. Managed to find the variant directly behind that one, and this is a little unusual. It's a little unusual for the 100K collection to actually have variants. Oftentimes, it's like the cover A's that are primarily the focus, but we happen to find a variant cover of this one, and this is a cover by Adam Hughes. Again, issue number 1 of Power Girl, so definitely a cool one. While we're on this thing of showing women on covers, we might as well keep it going. I don't know how they got in this order, to be honest with you. This is the first issue of The Huntress, and this again is a book that I've shown on the channel before. I managed to find, I want to say, 2 copies of this a few months ago while looking for some other things. 3 more copies have been located. The 100K collection, as you are seeing, is extensive, and there are multiple copies of a lot of books but they're not always together. Sometimes you'll find, 3 here, 2 there. They'll be in completely different boxes with completely different titles. Sometimes there's a rhyme and reason, sometimes there isn't, but when you go looking for something, you never know what you're going to find. So The Huntress, 3 copies of that is what we located. This next one is really cool, especially now that I've seen the Doctor Strange movie featuring Patrick Stewart. We found New Avengers, issue number 7. This is the first team appearance of the Illuminati, and even though I knew that Patrick Stewart was in the movie, I still got excited when I finally saw him on screen as Charles Xavier. Managed to find 2 copies of that. Definitely a cool book right there. Next up, we have New Avengers issue number 40, and this book is actually the first appearance of the Skrull Queen, and I believe that the Queen may be in a movie at some point in the future. At least that is the rumor that is out there. So we managed to find, nope, I lied, 3 copies. Managed to find 3 copies of New Avengers issue number 40. And clearly I was digging in the New Avengers. Actually, it was an Avengers bin that I was in, but they had New Avengers in there. Found 2 copies of the New Avengers issue number 49. This is like a partial cameo kind of sort of appearance of the Dark Avengers. I guess there was like a TV screen that they were actually on. But what also makes this one really cool is the really awesome J. Scott Campbell cover featuring Shuri as the Black Panther is actually previewed in this comic. And I do believe that ad was in a few other books, but it is specifically in this one as well. Beyond just the little cameo of the Dark Avengers on a TV screen, there is the Shuri preview ad that is in there, and I think it's also a 6-page preview of that book. I think that's what it is. So the next couple of books that I found are really cool, and they're cool because I went looking for this title and I was unable to find issue number 1. I found like issue 2 and 3 or something like that, but no issue 1. And then I was looking for something else in the collection and managed to find an issue 1. So I was really happy about that. While I was hunting for something else recently, I stumbled upon like a nice healthy chunk of the run, and this is zero issue number 1 to get things started. And this is actually a property that has been optioned, and I do believe it is attached to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, so he's going to be bringing this to life maybe at some point, potentially. Here is issue number 2, and again, I found issue number 1, I found issue number 2, and I want to say issue 3, which is great because I managed to find issue 4, a couple of copies of that. And here is issue 5. This is a book that I actually started to read when I found that issue 1 before. I actually started to read it. It's dated. It's dated, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Here's issue number 7 right there. And I'm going to go and see whether I have a full run now that I've kind of found bits and pieces here and there over the last couple of months. Here is issue number 8 right there. I do believe I found at least one other copy of issue 8. Here is issue 11 and 2 copies of that. And then the very last one that I found was issue number 12. And I honestly do not know how long this story, this title ran for, but we now at least have mostly through issue 12. We'll see whether I have the full thing. So definitely a cool stack of books to have found. The next stack I cannot really show you. And I cannot show you because it's literally still in the package in which I found it in. The 100K collection, as I mentioned, is an extensive collection. It is a collection of more than 100,000 comics, and they are arranged and bundled in lots of different ways. And at some point, the previous owner basically stuck a bunch of raw comics together and put a backing board on the front and a backing board in the back and sealed it up. And this one is a bundle of Marvel Comics Presents issue 73, 74, 75, 76, and 77. Multiple copies of each one. And this is a healthy portion of the Weapon X story arc that appeared in Marvel Comics Presents. It is one of my favorite story arcs. Barry Windsor Smith did a wonderful job putting this together, but this is basically the origin background of Logan, of Wolverine, and that's part of the reason why I absolutely love this run. And so I found this bundle, and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to individually bag and board the books, and I'm also going to evaluate whether these are books that I want to send in to be graded. And part of the reason why I want to grade them is I have this desire to have the entire Weapon X run as a 9.8. I think that would be cool because this is a story arc that I read as a kid. I loved it as a teenager. I read it again as an adult, and I still love it. Wolverine is one of my favorite characters, and I think it would be cool to have the entire story arc in 9.8s. I don't know if these books are going to meet that threshold, so I may end up just buying it. And one of the good things about values of comics kind of sort of tumbling is that you can now potentially pick up some books at a lower price. So I'm going to crack this one open, bag and board these things, and then think about what the next steps might be. So there you have it. That is essentially my haul of books from the 100K collection. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And as I mentioned, do not forget to check out my friends over at My Slabs. The link is in the description of this video, and be certain to leave a thumbs up on the video and a comment behind as well. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.